Hello, welcome back to Hassan Narrates. Tonight's story is about a father, a son, and a phone call that came 10 years too late. The last voicemail. Daniel sat alone in his small flat in Manchester. Rain tapped softly against the window. The television was on, but he wasn't watching it. At 43 years old, he had become an expert at keeping himself busy. Work, sleep, work again, anything to avoid thinking. His phone buzzed. A small message from an unknown number. For a moment, he ignored it. Then he opened it. The message contained only 7 words. Your father passed away in this morning. Sarah. Daniel stared at the screen. His hands suddenly felt cold. His father, gone. For 10 years, they had not spoken. 10 years of silence, 10 years of anger, 10 years of believing there would always be more time. Now, there wasn't. Daniel slowly sat down. The room felt strangely quiet. Then another message arrived. He left something for you. The funeral was held 3 days later. The sky was grey. The wind was cold. Only a few people attended. Daniel stood at the back. He did not cry, not because he wasn't sad, because he didn't know what he felt. The last conversation with his father replayed in his mind. He was 33 then, young, angry, certain he was right. His father had criticized another career choice, another decision, another dream, and Daniel had finally exploded. I spent my whole life trying to make you proud. His father stared back. I just want what the best for you. No, you want me to be someone else. That's not true. It is. Then came the words Daniel could never take back. Maybe life would be easier if I did not have a father at all. The silence afterward was unforgettable. His father's face had fallen, as if something inside him broke. Neither man apologized. Neither man called. Days became months, months became years, and now one of them was gone forever. After the service, a woman approached him, Sarah, his father's neighbor. He handed him a small box. He wanted you to have this. Daniel looked at it. What is this? She smiled sadly. I think you'll understand. That night, Daniel opened that box. Inside was an old mobile phone, the kind of mobile people used years ago. Confused, he pressed the power button. To his surprise, it switched on. There was only one saved voicemail, recorded 9 years earlier. Daniel hesitated, then pressed play. Static crackled, and suddenly he heard his father's voice for the first time in a decade. Hello, Daniel. Daniel froze. His chest tightened. I don't know if you'll ever hear this. A long pause followed. I have recorded this message 20 times. A small laugh. The kind Daniel remembered from childhood. I was never very good with words. Daniel's eyes began to sting. The voice continued. You were right. He blinked. What? His father could not hear him, of course. But Daniel spoke anyway. What do you mean? The recording continued. I spent so much time worrying about your future that I forgot to enjoy the man you become. Daniel felt tears gathering. I thought I was protecting you. Another pause. Maybe I was trying to protect myself. The room suddenly felt very small. His father took a shaky breath. You know, when you were 8 years old, you told everyone that you wanted to be a writer. Daniel smiled through tears. He remembered. I laughed. His father continued. I told you to choose something practical. A painful silence followed. I wish I hadn't. Daniel lowered his head. The tears finally came, quietly at first, then harder. I spent years trying to shape your life. His father's voice crackled. When I should have been listening to it. Daniels covered his mouth. The recording wasn't perfect. There were pauses, mistakes, moments where his father clearly struggled. and somehow that made it hurt even more. It sounded real, human. The voice returned. I don't know if you will ever forgive me. Another pause. But I hope one day you will understand that I loved you. Daniel closed his eyes. His father continued. Not even the version I wanted you to become. A breath. You. The room felt silent for several seconds. Then came the final words. They say parents teach children how to live. A soft laugh. I think you taught me more. Another pause. I thought just too stubborn to admit it. Daniel could not hear tears in his father's voice now. I'm sorry, son. The message ended. Daniel sat there for a long time, hours maybe. The rain continued outside. For years, he had imagined this conversation. He imagined shouting, arguing, winning, but none of that mattered now. All that remained was two imperfect people who loved each other and spent too long protecting their pride. The next morning, Daniel did something he hadn't done in years. He opened a bank document on his laptop. He began to write the novel he had abandoned long ago, the dream his father never understood, the dream he himself had almost forgotten. As he typed the first sentence, his phone sat beside him. The old voicemail saved forever, not because it erased the pain, not because it fixed the lost years, because it reminded him of something important. People don't always say what they mean. Sometimes love arrives disguised as fear. Sometimes apologies arrive too late. And sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is stop waiting for the perfect ending and begin again with whatever time remains. Daniel looked out in the rain covered city. Then he smiled and kept writing.